Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we have some news updates for you from around the land of smiles from the Thaiger this Tuesday, November 26th. Now, today we'll be talking about a farang couple doing dirty deeds on a Phuket beach, motorcycle taxis causing traffic chaos over the weekend at Rolling Loud, and a little later we'll be talking about the ongoing battle of negotiations between Indonesia and Apple. But our first story takes us back to Thailand. A Thai monastery is being investigated for using 41 corpses in meditation practices. Pretty weird. Authorities in Thailand are investigating Panakon Chaibavorn Monastery in Pichit province after discovering 41 bodies allegedly used for meditation practices. The corpses were reportedly accompanied by donation certificates, but police are verifying their legitimacy to ensure no bodies were stolen. The monastery's head, Pra Ajahn Saifon Pandito, claims the bodies are part of a unique meditation technique. This follows a similar discovery of 12 bodies at a nearby monastery. The practice has sparked controversy, with local religious authorities questioning its appropriateness and investigating its prevalence across other monasteries. Why?
I don't even know.
I don't get it. It's a weird story. What do you need
It's
the
a more
corpses
authentic
for?
experience. Brings you closer to life and death. I don't know.
So, spending time around the corpses allows you to achieve nirvana, apparently. So, yeah, apparently, most religious leaders are not in favor of this practice. They're like, okay, this is kind of weird.
This is a bit too batshit crazy for me.
Indeed. But apparently it's all legit. They had the donation certificates. They were allowed to be used for this with consent.
Almost sounds like a cult, doesn't it?
It sure
Allegedly.
does.
I would never.
It doesn't sound totally appropriate, that's for sure. But in any case, this is one of those things where, all right, do we respect the religious freedom to be able to do this kind of weird stuff? Or, does the government step in and say, hey, we don't do this kind of thing?
Who are we to say it's weird, Alex?
I don't know, but I'm saying it anyways.
All right. Anyways, let's move on to our next story, going into a little bit of politics, as former Prime Minister Yinglucks Return set to face legal proceedings upon return. Mm-hmm. Now, the former Thai Prime Minister Yinglucks Return is expected to return to Thailand by Songkran 2025 to face legal proceedings without special privileges, according to ex-MP Outrage. Yingluck, who fled in 2017 after being charged with negligence in a rice subsidy scheme, was criticized for facing unfair treatment following the 2014 coup, which allowed her assets to be seized before her trial concluded. Warashai emphasized Yingluck's right to return and called for unity and reconciliation, warning against politicizing her return.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't politicize her return, since she is part of the major family political dynasty here in Thailand. Also, kind of unclear about her treatment. So it was a rice subsidy scheme that ended up being her undoing. Seems like a lot of backroom deals and weird political games get played at the very top, obviously involving traditional power structures. Here, and the Shinawats, now they are the establishment, but at the time they were sort of the ones pushing towards more democracy here as well. I don't know. What's your take? Any thoughts? No?
I mean, she was going to be back sooner or later. They're too powerful, and I have nothing bad to say about them.
Yeah, smart man. Yeah, I mean, if Thaksin can come back, I don't see why Yingluck can't, to be honest with you.
The man literally just came back, spent like a day in jail, was sick, and then just got pardoned.
Yeah, so I think her road to safety...
is when you know you've got power.
Indeed,
Just saying. He was sick, allegedly. And I once again, I have nothing bad to say about the Shinawatra family.
That's a fair enough thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's not our only weird political news. Actually, this one's like a bit of a businessy thing, which is stirring a lot of controversy. Thailand itself is set to investigate 27,000 companies for Thai nominee practices in 2025. So next year, Thailand's Department of Business Development plans to investigate over 27,000 juristic persons as part of a crackdown on Thai nominee businesses used by foreign enterprises. Target sectors include tourism, real estate, hotels, logistics, and e-commerce. The DBD will analyze shareholding structures, voting rights, and financial records for compliance with the Foreign Business Act. An intelligence business analytic system will enhance detection of irregularities. This year, 26,000 entities were reviewed, with 64 facing charges and 4 suspected as nominees. Okay, that's pretty good numbers. The 26,000 investigated, only 64 found to be doing wrongdoing. But essentially, this is what, like, all right, Thai businesses in Thailand have to have a certain amount of ownership from Thai nationals.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 51% majority.
Right, so that's what they're investigating, is saying, okay, is this just in name only? Are they just purely a paper partner that doesn't actually get access to the money or have any voting rights in the business? So I imagine there's a lot of shady dealings. But
it's not shady. It's just reality. I mean, there are many foreigners who come to Thailand and want to work here legally and have found a Thai nominee, a Thai partner, a Thai friend to sponsor and have them as the majority shareholder of the company. It's completely legal.
Yeah.
Even in terms of being a face for the company, because the legality of it is real.
I know.
So let's say, for example, you're the Thai national. You own 51% of the company. You could screw me out of it. Most of the times that doesn't happen because you don't have like voting rights. You can't make decisions without me, something like that. So there is like ways to kind of do it. But how can you blame people wanting to come to this beautiful country and wanting to invest and open a business in here, but making it so that, you know, it allows you a little bit of gray room to play around with it. Yeah. Everything in Thailand, almost every law has a gray section.
Yeah, exactly.
Apart from murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't kill someone and get away with it, allegedly. Allegedly.
I feel like we've covered some controversial stories in that regard here. But yeah, always a little wiggle room, and it certainly seems like just sort of par for the course here. And like they said, they've done more than 20,000 investigations this year. Didn't find a whole lot of wrongdoing, but it seems like it's still controversial within the business sector if people are playing by the rules or not. So time will tell.
There's many ways to skirt by this. I have strong feelings towards this because I think my life is a lot more easier now. But as a young adult, I had a lot of people. A lot of companies don't providing work permits for unless you're a highly skilled employee. And how many 22-year-olds are highly skilled?
Yeah.
When you're a young graduate, nobody wanted to give me a work permit. And one of the few options was I might need to open my own company, and that's the only way I can live and work in the country I love. So, who are we to judge?
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, man.
Danny Fan says money equals wiggle room. Indeed, that's the truth.
Wiggle.
And, Alpha Bravo says hopefully the bot is not getting too strong because of raising business. And that's another thing. If the bot gets too strong, it makes it more difficult to invest and lowers tourism. So agreed with you there. All right.
I feel like you're like the Ben Affleck of Thaiger.
I'll take it. Yeah, handsome fellow that guy.
Have you seen how he's been in the news lately for being extremely he's become a meme that people get shocked at how fluent, coherent, and smart he is.
Oh. All right. Thank you, Jay. High praise, my friend. Yeah.
Like,
he's a great
He might be a goofy guy, but there's a lot of brains in there.
There is.
There's a lot of juice.
There's a lot of gray matter working up there. Speaking of him, he also smart because he split ways with J-Lo.
Oh.
Now in the wake of all of her connections with P. Diddy. So he was smart and got out ahead of that too. So
do you think he planned that, or he's just not
maybe
good
he
at
was just sick of
relationships?
J-Lo. Yeah, maybe that too. Probably that too. All right. Well, anyways, we got our next story. Are you ready for it, my friend?
All right. Moving on to our next story, which is regarding a drunk Thai man who fatally stabs an intruder using meth. Now, in Ratchaburi, a drunk man called Ye fatally stabbed a stranger, Noi, who intruded into his rented room and used methamphetamine. The incident unfolded after Noi's intrusion angered Ye, leading to a confrontation. Now, Noi called 2 friends, but Ye, in a rage, stabbed him, causing him to collapse and die on the road. Ye then reported the incident to a community leader and handed over the knife to police. Authorities found alcohol and drug-related items in Ye's room and are investigating further after his arrest.
What a drama! A lot of substance abuse on both sides, and people getting a little jumping to conclusions, a little stabby.
Would you break into a junkie's room and not expect him to be violent?
Yeah, that's one of the things, right? Well, this guy was apparently the stabber was drunk, but he came across a tweaker in his place, doing meth. So I can't really blame him for being like, like getting a little defensive about it.
Yeah.
At the same time, unclear how it escalated. Like maybe the guy was like, "Whoa, sorry, didn't know I was here," and then he just went into a drunken rage. But in any case, if you're gonna do meth, do it in your own place. I think don't break into other people's.
Yeah.
Don't do meth in the first place. I think that could be also sound advice.
Yeah.
We'll see how that one goes.
Yeah.
Anyways, our next story is a fun one. Right, I told you we're not going to be too sad the whole day. Now, public sex on Phuket Beach.
You love a good public sex story.
Who doesn't? Sex on the beach, baby. Sparks outrage among locals. Now, a foreign couple was caught engaging in intimate behavior on Kata Beach in Phuket, leading to public criticism from locals and social media users. A photo of the couple was shared online, sparking debate about inappropriate tourist conduct. And calls for authorities to address such incidents. Many expressed frustration over repeated acts of public indecency in the area. Despite the outcry, no legal action has been reported against the couple, and similar past incidents have often ended without charges.
Damn, I thought I was being discreet. Kata Beach, a very popular beach. It's actually one of the nicer beaches. A lot of people go there for surfing. These kind of stories often take place in Patong because that's like the party central.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a surprising, but hey, with the increasing number of tourists, Kata is as popular as ever. I just don't understand why people feel the need to mix. Just what is it about a beach that makes people horny? I just don't get it. There's sand, there's seawater. Everything is going against you.
There's a whole cocktail named after this.
Is it a challenge?
Yeah. It's a romantic setting. You're there. You're under the stars with your loved one.
Surrounded by families and locals.
There's the issue, but I think look, I get it. I understand the urge to, but take it back to the hotel room, people. Like, or get a private beach somewhere.
I don't even understand the urge to. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I have a feeling my inner Anakin Skywalker coming out. Sand it just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, keep it in your pants, people.
I got that reference.
Star Wars there. Let's see. Alpha Bravo asked, what was the air temperature that day or night? I don't know.
I'm guessing it was in the evening, hopefully. But
exactly the right temperature, apparently. Let's see. They say Thailand gets a lot of low-tier trash tourists. Oh, come on. Sure. I'm from Florida, so that's we are the kings of low-tier trash tourists. I've seen worse, trust me. They don't even talk about it in the news in Florida. It's such a common occurrence. Not that I would know anything about that. And Well-Rounded says, no one likes sand in their crack. Well said.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I got you a motorcycle story next.
Okay.
That's your thing.
All right. Our next story is regarding motorcycle taxis cause traffic chaos at Pattaya concert. Traffic chaos in Pattaya, a hip-hop concert at Legend Siam near Pattaya caused severe traffic gridlock as hundreds of motorcycle taxis parked illegally in traffic lanes, reducing road capacity and creating kilometer-long jams. Residents criticized the lack of organized parking and traffic management, questioning whether organizers had proper permits. Complaints focused on taxi drivers blocking roads and residential access, with calls for improved event planning and stricter regulations.
Like if traffic isn't bad enough here in Thailand. But I gotta wonder, like, this is like, it was a big concert, Rolling Loud, right? Huge. How, like, this is not the first time we've done it.
Yeah.
So you would imagine that the proper permits and the proper planning from the city would be there in order to prevent this kind of a thing. But kilometers long traffic at the end of the show is just not fun. Have you ever been to these big festivals where, like, all right, last band goes, it's time to leave, time to go home, and then you're stuck for hours, like trying to get out.
The only music festival I've actually been to, like in such a large scale, was Wonderfruit, and the parking was absolutely amazing.
Oh, good.
The organization of everything in the event actually is excellent, but it's a giant golf course, and there's thousands and thousands of cars, but you can park and leave at almost any time.
So
it's so well organized.
a lot more. They've been at it for a few more years, so I guess there's still some growing pains for this particular festival. But yeah, anyways, all's well that ends well. I think it was just a little bit of an annoyance for the locals there, but hopefully we'll be getting more of those in the future because it's a big boost to the economy and the soft power, quote unquote, of Thailand. All right, well, back to Bangkok for our last story in the Thaiger. We are heading over to Khao San Road, your favorite place, Jay.
Love it.
Khao San Road tourism is declining amid European visitor drop. So, Khao San Road is facing a dip in European tourist booking ahead of the festive season, with hotel reservations for December 30th to 31st dropping to 60%, down from 70% last year. The decline is attributed to uncertainties stemming from the old Russia-Ukraine conflict, impacting European visitors who typically form 80% of the area's tourist demographic. Despite this, Khao San remains hopeful for a late surge in bookings, expecting up to 70,000 tourists for its New Year's Eve countdown, potentially generating over 70 million baht in tourism revenue. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe Khao San's getting a little passé, too, if you could say it. I mean, how many of these people have already been and seen what all the fuss is about?
Khao San is still kind of cool, but I don't remember the last time I went to Khao San for Khao San.
That's
Do you?
true. No, I go for the comedy joint.
Yeah, the
over
comedy
there all
joint
the time,
and stuff. Yeah,
but that's a little off.
But if the comedy joint wasn't there, you'd probably never go to Khao San.
Correct. Yeah.
I've never even had a friend who's come to Bangkok and said, "I want to go to Khao San."
Right.
Nobody
yeah.
says those words.
No, definitely not. Whenever my gay friends come, I have to take them to Siloam. That's that's a must do for.
You
them,
got your Nana, you've got your Cowboys, you've got your Siloam, you know, Desire, whatever you desire, RCA. But like, I don't remember the last time in the last 10 years anyone who's ever told me they want to go to Khao San.
Agreed. It's because we're getting older, Jay. Like,
Is it?
it's definitely.
You think so?
For me, it seems like a nice. There's so many hostels there, backpacker places, a lot of dispensaries, a lot of bars with cheap booze and things like that. So there's plenty of fun stuff to do over there.
It's young and trashy, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, and now we're just trashy. So unfortunately, we're getting up there.
All right.
But yeah. Anyways, hopefully Khao San can bounce back because it is. I still like its charms.
All right. Well, those were some of the stories from across Thailand. We're now going to move on to our stories from around ASEAN, starting with landslides and flash floods in Sumatra, leaving 16 dead and 6 missing. Landslides and flash floods triggered by torrential rains in Indonesia Sumatra Island have claimed 16 lives, with 6 people still missing. This disaster struck mountainous areas in North Sumatra, destroying homes, farms, and plantations across several districts, including Karo, South Tapanuli, and Deli Serdang. Rescuers using excavators and bare hands continue searching for missing individuals, including children. Over 150 buildings and 130 hectares of farmland were damaged, leaving dozens injured.
It doesn't
Indonesia
end.
with the natural disasters, man.
Yeah, tale as old as time. Well, it's always these landslides, right? Like in monsoon season is supposed to be over by now. But unfortunately, these things are still happening. And what a terrible way to go, buried alive kind of thing. And not to mention the economic impact. So, of course, the loss of life is tragic. But how do you rebuild, right? Like your farm after something like this, everything that you were building is just completely buried, even if you made it out safe. So, tough stuff. And I don't know what the solution is. Like, you still need to, wherever there's land, people are going to try and move there because obviously it'll be cheaper now in this place. But the dangers will always loom. So, hearts go out to these people.
Yeah.
Pretty terrible footage looking down there, man. Awful. Well, all right. Well, that's not our only story out of Indonesia, and this one's a bit more interesting because we're talking about business news. Indonesia is rejecting Apple's $100 million investment proposal. Now, for those of you that remember following the story, started off as $10 million from Apple. Indonesia said no, played hardball. Now, $100 million, still no. So Indonesia has rejected that $100 million investment proposal to build an accessory and component plant, deeming it inadequate to lift the sales ban on the iPhone 16. The ban stems from Indonesia's requirement that 40% of smartphone components be locally sourced, a rule Apple has failed to meet. Industry Minister Agus Gumiwang Kartasamita criticized the proposal as unfair compared to Apple's larger investments in Vietnam and Thailand. Apple, which lacks manufacturing facilities in Indonesia, is urged to fulfill a $10 million investment commitment and propose new plans through 2026. Negotiations are ongoing.
All right.
Really playing hardball over there, man. Like, I thought 10 million they would say no to. I thought 100 million they would definitely bite at, but apparently not yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how that goes.
They want to build the future.
Yeah. Well,
right.
I mean, also at this point, I feel like the hype around the iPhone 16 is going to be dying out. Like, we'll be on to 17
it's only
by then.
November, man. It's been like 2 days. It's been like a month since it's been launched.
Really?
Yeah. So it was just launched in like September.
I guess we'll see. It's December already coming up.
Yeah, but then like you can only start buying it in October, and then it's like November, and it's Christmas time. This is where sales go up, baby.
Yeah, fair play.
iPhone 16 for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, still not moving them in Indonesia, apparently.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our next story, we're going over to Cambodia as Cambodian activities released after investigating illegal logging.
Try it again.
Cambodian
activists.
Oh, I see. Right. Cambodian activists released after investigating illegal logging. Now, 6 Cambodian environmental activists, including Goldman Prize winner Outrage, were released after being detained for investigating illegal logging in Vern Sai Siampang National Park. They were freed after pledging not to enter restricted areas again, but face legal action if they trespass in the future. The incident highlights Cambodia's crackdown on environmentalists, with previous cases such as sentencing of 10 Mother Nature Cambodian members to 6 years in prison for state conspiracy.
That sucks. Wow. Yeah. Well, look, it's good that they're releasing them, but it's definitely sending out a major message to anybody who wants to engage in environmental activism in Cambodia that, hey, you're going to get arrested if you do, which sucks. Like, I feel like it's kind of a noble cause to be involved in, and especially getting them on charges like state conspiracy. Like, that's feels like they're drumming up whatever and just trying to throw the book at them for what they believe is in their moral code. So, be careful. Cambodia is not messing around when it comes to protesters. All right. Well, anyways, I believe this is our last story of the day. Now, a Malaysian court has ordered the return of Swatch watches seized over the LGBTQ design.
Okay.
So a Malaysian court has ordered the return of 172 rainbow-themed watches seized from Swatch in 2023 over alleged LGBT elements. The court ruled the seizure unlawful as no ban was in place at the time. However, the prohibition order issued in August 2023 remains valid, meaning the watches cannot be sold. The government is considering an appeal. Swatch argued the watches posed no threat to public order or morality, while authorities claimed they promoted LGBTQ+ values, which are illegal in Malaysia. Swatch has claimed reputational and business damage from the incident. The watches, valued at $14,000, must be returned within 14 days.
All right.
Come on. We're like... I don't like. Are you just gonna take away anything rainbow? Like, is the rainbow just completely not allowed in Malaysia at this point?
I guess.
Come on, guys.
That's what they're saying.
That is apparently what they're saying. Yeah. Like, congratulations, LGBTQ community. You have completely co-opted the rainbow. Apparently, it is inextricable from being associated with you, to the point where Malaysia is now seizing watches because it might support your rights.
Yeah.
So, Anyways. I don't know. I think
on that note, ladies and gentlemen, those were some of the stories from across Thailand and ASEAN. You can find out more stories from Thailand on thetiger.com and ASEANnow.com. But if you'd like to get into the conversation, where do they go?
ASEANnow.com.
That's right. Thailand's largest forum. For now, we're going to dive into the live chat to see what the people are talking about.
Yeah. Hey, guys.